Hello, people. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Who want to hear some sports talk? Who want to hear about some heated sports debate? Well, I got a good one right here, specifically involving females professional basketball compared to men's professional basketball. Now, over the course of months and even years, there have been a lot of women ball players complaining that they don't make enough money, rather. They've been complaining that the men basketball players make way more money than they do. Hey, you know they do. If a lot of those guys stay in big palaces, castles, they got 1 million cars, jewelry, clothes. You can see that they make a lot of money by how they splurge and spend, and you can see their homes on cribs and stuff on TV from helicopters. Yeah, I can agree that the women, they have a legitimate debate there by saying, oh, it's not fair. These guys are making more money than we do. But that is not the fault of the men. That is the fault of the women. Look, people, there are more women on the planet than there are men. So if all the women tuned in to professional females basketball, then the ratings will skyrocket higher than ever. And then you will see women get $100 million contracts or better. That is not the fault of the male audiences that watch the men's sports, because a guy can choose to watch whatever sport he wants or whatever amount of sports that he want to watch. So can the women. Now look, the women the women audience, that is, aren't supporting the women's professional basketball league because they're not watching the games. Like, isn't it the women's responsibility to watch the women's games if all the men are watching all the men's basketball games, which is the NBA? So it should be like the females should get behind the WNBA as far as the fan bases go. So you can't get mad at the male audiences that watch sports and say, look, since you're watching all the men's sports, you got to watch all the female sports, because it isn't fair that you're just watching the male stuff. But what about the female audiences? They're watching all the popular shows. Why can't they support the WNBA and watch all of their games? And then the ratings would soar. And then the women would be able to get bigger endorsement deals, bigger contracts. So I have to clear that up. It's a debate, but I believe I resolved it with this video. Yes, people, in the free world, amongst a population of billions, there are more women than there are men. So the women can support the women's professional basketball player, all of those women, and then the ratings would be higher than the men's side of the sports, which is the professional men's basketball league or the NBA. So you see, the women really can't get mad at the men because they don't make as much money as the men. They should be mad at the women that won't support them. I'm not trying to come off as being sexual in a quote unquote so-called male-dominated society, because I believe in fairness, equality. Yeah, it's enough people out there, men and women, to watch the NBA evenly and the WNBA. Just say 1 billion men can watch the NBA, and a billion women or so, or a couple of billion women can watch the WNBA and support their respective sides. Forget that. Everybody can watch everybody's sports, and that would be even better. Like, it could be a complete integrated audience of male and females watching both basketball leagues made up of men and women. They could do that if this was the type of world we lived in. I guess guys are not heavily into watching the female basketball league like they are watching the men's basketball league. But things have changed though in women's professional basketball, because a lot of the men are starting to watch that sport. They're watching the women's side of professional basketball because of brand new emerging stars that just came on the scene, as well as the old stars that have been playing for years now. So things have changed, but slowly. But women, the only way you're going to make progress with that is tell all the women out there to start watching the WNBA and start watching women's sports in general. Even the women that say they're turned off to watching sports, like they should watch it anyway, because it will help women progress be made in the areas of wages, fees, salaries, and whatnot. All right, people, I hope you enjoyed, and it's something else to think about. So please give me those likes, comments, and please subscribe to Detroit Miracle.